What's going on, everyone? So yesterday, the Lakers squeezed out a much-needed win in double overtime against the Golden State Warriors, and in my opinion, it was no help thanks to Darvin Ham. In my opinion, it's just my opinion, Darvin Ham coached his worst game we have seen him coach yesterday against the Warriors. He did everything in his power to cost the Lakers that game yesterday, and that's saying a lot, because Darvin Ham has been very bad this year. Early on in the season, I defended the man. I did, because there were circumstances, there were things involved at the time that were defensible in Darvin Ham's favor, right? All the injuries. Early on, you're experimenting, you're testing different lineups, especially because of injuries. But also, you got this deep team, this deep roster. You're trying to figure out, who are your 8, right? You're doing different lineups, different changes, different rotations, seeing what this group looks like. And I even talked about it in the off season leading into the season that, hey, Darvin Ham with this roster, he should be experimenting. He should be trying different things. And we had, kind of back and forth. We were inconsistent with energy and stuff like that. But, we were 4 or 5 games over 500. And then you saw in the in-season tournament, okay, this Lakers team, they can lock down, they can focus, they can do what they need to do and go win some basketball games. Darvin Ham has had some great coaching moments, right? You saw in the playoffs last year, outside of the Denver series, he was really good in the Memphis series, really good in the Warriors series. And so it was like, okay, this is a guy that when the moment comes, we can count on him. He's just trying to figure stuff out. But then the season continued to progress, and the season continued to just go in the direction of, I have no idea what my rotation is. I have no idea what my lineup is. Even when the injury bug went away. Even when, our only guy injured was Gabe Vincent. And it still became a persistent issue. And yet Darvin Ham continues to make it hard on himself. Now, I'm going to dive into just the Warriors game specifically here in a moment and kind of break down why his performance as a head coach frustrated me a ton. But I want to talk about, generally just the starting units and the rotations and things like that. It's frustrating because it's so obvious and clear to see certain things that he just overlooks. And sometimes the simple answer is the best answer. And to me, it feels like at times Darvin Ham is trying to big brain it out there and trying to, do stuff that's like, oh, look, see, I came up with this is my thing, rather than just dude, do the simple thing. Taurean Prince, Austin Reeves, and D'Angelo Russell just don't make sense in the starting unit. Jared Vanderbilt has been incredible. He's back to being Jared Vanderbilt. He should be in the starting unit. Now, I don't have issues. I know some people do. I don't have issues with Taurean Prince starting. I think Taurean Prince has been great this year. He's shooting a career-high percentage. The guy has been Mr. Consistent for the most part. I know he's had bad games here and there. People look at the Warriors game and it's like he gave up a goose egg. Well, he only took 2 shots. You have to get the basketball in order to do that. But he had a bad game outside of that, beyond just the lack of shot attempts. But I don't mind Darvin Ham's logic of keeping Taurean Prince in the starting unit of hey, he's been outside of D'Lo, our best 3-point shooter. He's given you 3 to 4 threes a game on a regular basis. He's been, serviceable defensively, not good, not great, but serviceable enough. We need the shooting alongside LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and D'Angelo Russell, right? That's fine. Then move Reeves to the bench. Your boyfriend, your baby daddy, Taurean Prince, you love him, you want to play him, that's fine. But move Austin Reeves to the bench then and balance out the starting unit. Now you got D'Lo, Taurean Prince, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. You don't need Austin Reeves as much in the starting unit with the way that D'Lo is currently playing. D'Lo is giving you enough offense along with LeBron James and Anthony Davis that it does make some sense to have Taurean Prince as your 3-and-D shooter. You get a little more size in the backcourt with Taurean Prince over Austin Reeves. You don't have teams being able to target as much as they have been with Austin Reeves in the starting unit. And now you got Jared Vanderbilt to defend the best player. Reeves moves to the bench where he's been just as effective, if not better, coming off the bench for the Lakers. And there, now you have balance. Right now, Austin Reeves can have a bigger impact against the bench units and the bench roles. Also, Taurean Prince has been the better shooter between him and Austin Reeves. Fine, I'm okay with that. But again, the simple answer is sometimes the answer. And the other thing, too, with Darvin Ham and Taurean Prince is it's not, again, I like Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince has been very good for the Lakers this year, but he shouldn't be playing 30 to 35 minutes a game. It just doesn't make any sense, right? If you want to have Taurean Prince play 20 minutes a game, sure, I'm all for it, right? Because in 20 minutes, he can go give you 3 to 4 threes. He spreads the floor. He's constantly a threat out there. Teams have to worry about him. He's absolute butter in that corner, right? Like, fine. Play him. Keep him out there. I'm not saying he shouldn't be in the rotation. I'm not saying that they shouldn't keep him. I'm not saying anything like that. But it's the utilization of him. It's the way that Darvin Ham uses and goes to him for everything. Look, Taurean Prince, he's a veteran. He's savvy. He has made some big plays over the course of the season. Like, one that really stands out was, I think it was the elimination game against the Phoenix Suns in the in-season tournament where there was a loose ball and everyone just like kind of watched the ball roll and it was headed out of bounds, and Taurean Prince tracked it down, chased it down, picked it up, and went the other way in transition and basically sealed the game for the Lakers, right? Where everyone else just stood there and watched, even Suns players, and Taurean Prince made that big play, made the big effort, right? He's a guy that's not afraid of the moment. He can hit big shots, all that stuff. I like Taurean Prince, but again, he shouldn't be playing 35 minutes a game. Now, specifically diving into Darvin Ham and his coaching, primarily the Warriors game, is, again, it was the lack of rotations, timeouts, things that continue to be persistent. But this time it was just much more expanded on. Like, look, I have no problems when coaches want to let guys play and you want your team to figure it out. I have defended that numerous times because there is times where you need to do that. And even some of the greatest coaches in history have done it. Even the best coaches in today's NBA do that. Steve Kerr is notorious for that, right? Eric Spoelstra will even let guys figure it out. And oh man, you just let them go on an 8-0 run, right? Basketball is a game of runs. I have no issues with you allowing things to extend a bit. And again, it's a fine line of like, okay, when has it gone too far? But when you allow a team to go on a 25-5 run, that's when it's gone too far. And maybe twice too far. Right? A lot of people, I do think, just exaggerate. Like, oh, Lakers keep giving up these runs. Darvin Ham needs to call timeout, blah, blah. Right? Some people, not everybody, but some people, just based on like comments, things like that I'll see, the Lakers would have no timeouts after the first quarter, right? Because every time another team goes on like a 4-0 run, they want Darvin Ham to call a timeout. So again, I understand it's a fine line, but there is no reason you should be allowing a 25-5 run without, if you have to use all your timeouts at that point to stop that run, you do it. That game could have very well gotten out of reach. The Lakers got very lucky that happened. And then in the overtime, you need to get a stop. And you have Austin Reeves out there on the court. The Golden State Warriors subbed out Steph Curry. Chef Curry had no issue sitting on the bench because the Warriors needed to get a defensive stop. But Austin Reeves is too good to not? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? There is zero reason Austin Reeves, who has been your worst defensive player this season, is out there guarding Klay Thompson when the game is on the line. Not on the line, but a chance for them to tie the game. I would have rathered anybody else, literally anybody else. Your baby daddy, Taurean Prince, I would have rather had out there because at least he's got bigger size. He's a veteran. He probably doesn't take the bait on that shot. Max Christie, Christian Wood even, I would have rather had out there. At least he's got size and length and can disrupt some stuff. And he's made big plays against guys like Kevin Durant and things like that. Jalen Hood-Schifino, I would have been fine with you throwing out there. Again, 6'6", athletic, right? I would have rather had anybody but Austin Reeves. The guy sitting courtside eating nachos. Bring that guy in for a moment. Anybody but Austin Reeves, who's been your worst defensive player. You needed one defensive stop. If you put in, a Max Christie, and same sequence happens, he takes the bait, and the shot gets taken, you live with it. You know what? You made the right decision. Now, I do believe some people would have been like, why did he put Max Christie in the game? Blah, blah, blah. Right? Like, no matter what happens in that situation, there are going to be some people that are going to criticize Darvin Ham. I will defend somebody if they make the right choice and the wrong result happens. Right? Just like, I'll defend somebody if they make the wrong choice, but the right result happens. Right? You do the right thing, or you luck out, you're the hero. Those are the two options there. But if you do the wrong thing and the result turns out to be the thing that you knew was going to happen, it's indefensible. If he subs out Austin Reeves and he puts in Max Christie, right, or a Jalen Hood-Schifino, or a Cam Reddish, or not Cam Reddish, Christian Wood, right? If he does something like that, you can defend that, okay? Because there's an argument. Okay, they're longer, they're bigger, you're trying to put some size on the court, disrupt shots, all that stuff, whatever. I can defend that. But to keep your worst defensive player out there to guard one of the best shooters in league history who was hot at the time, it's just indefensible. Right? Like, again, great example of like a wrong decision that turned out great, right? Because look, if he leaves that in there, Austin Reeves gets a block and they seal the game. Darvin Ham is it. Man, that's why I keep Austin Reeves. Right? You're the hero. Great example is D'Lo, right? In that game. He has, 2 or 3 straight turnovers? It's like, dude, what are you doing, man? And look, to his defense, everyone was exhausted. Mental lapse happened, all that stuff. But still, you can't make that happen, especially as the point guard. Makes 2 or 3 bad decisions. Then he gets the ball out in transition, takes that pull-up 3. Now, I have said numerous times, I think that that's a bad shot. I don't like when anybody does that, right? Even Steph will do that sometimes, and I still think it's a bad shot. He's the greatest shooter ever played the game. Because again, there's no one back to box out, get rebounds, anything like that, right? If you make it, you're the hero. If you miss it, it's like, man, that was a bad play, right? Go get a possession, unless you're like blowing a team out, right? If the Lakers were up 20 and D'Lo wants to take that shot, then sure, I'm all for it, right? Why not? But in a tight game like that, not a big fan of that, right? Because it's like, let your team get back, run a proper play, go get a bucket, right? And that's what it was. It was a tight game. Game was on the line, right? And you're losing the game now, primarily because of D'Angelo Russell, and he takes that shot. And he hit it, and guess what? He's the hero. But if he misses that, everyone would have been screaming to trade that guy. Everyone would have been screaming that this is why you need to trade him, this is why he's trash, blah, blah, blah. But because he made it, everyone thinks he's the hero. Everyone's saying this is why you keep D'Lo, right? When good things happen, you get good results, right? Or when good results happen, good things happen, right? But that's not what happened here. Darvin Ham made the wrong decision, and it blew up in his face. And it seems to continue to be a trend. Here's the problem. They can't fire Darvin Ham this year, and they're not going to. And look, I do believe talent can trump everything, right? I mean, look at like LeBron with like David Blatt is a good example. Gets to the finals, right? If the Lakers make the right trades, they'll have enough talent. You also have to kind of, in my opinion, simplify things for Darvin Ham. Basically just like shorten the rotation, right? If you have to trade 3 guys to get 1, do it. And whatever it takes, essentially. You want to make things as simple and easy for Darvin Ham as possible. It's sad that that has to happen. It's sad that that has to be the case. But that's the reality we're in right now, and we're trying to win this season. So to me, if the Lakers make the right trades and the trades work out, then I believe that the Lakers can still win the championship, even with the ailments of Darvin Ham. And he was really good coaching in the playoffs. So there's a part of me that, and in the in-season tournament, he was good in the in-season tournament. So there's a part of me that hopes that, like, he's just not a good regular season coach, but he's just better in the postseason, which it would be weird, but hey, I mean, look at a guy like Doc Rivers. He's an excellent regular season coach, and when you get to the postseason, he's terrible, right? So maybe Darvin Ham's the opposite. Maybe Darvin Ham's just terrible in the regular season, but excellent in the postseason. A lot of it is, though, too, is when you get to the postseason, you're doing a lot of things that you're not doing in the regular. Like, you're shortening the rotation naturally. You're kind of just sticking with your 5 best players 90% of the time. So things get easier for Darvin Ham. He doesn't have to make as many adjustments. He doesn't have to make as many changes. You know, LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the postseason are ridiculous. There's factors that go into it. But Darvin Ham's just been, he's been awful. He really has. I've tried to defend this man. I've tried to stick up for this man. But he just continues to make it impossible. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Are you somewhere in between? I'm sure a majority are going to agree with this video. But again, I'd love to hear both sides. If you're somebody on the other side, how you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.